What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal, Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and this is Road Signs. This is probably going to be the quickest video in Road Signs because it's for one simple thing. I'm doing the WrestleMania Q&A. I did not do the Chamber Q&A like I promised because, you know, Spaz was a very, very bad boy and forgot. This is going to be the pre-WrestleMania Q&A. I'm putting this video up now. I'm going to do it next week, and then I'm going away because I'm going to see people and watch WrestleMania somewhere else. I'm taking off, leaving Canada. My friends in the States, is the weather any better down there? I'm just saying, because the weather here is shit. Is it not? Two things, really, really quickly. This is what WrestleMania looks like right now. We've got Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, burial match number 1. We've got Kane and the New Age Outlaws versus the newly face-turned Shield. Newly face-turned Shield versus Team Old Man is what I'm calling this. It could be amusing as to how much they destroy the Outlaws and Kane. Just putting it out there. John Cena versus the should-be victorious Bray Wyatt. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, which, you know, is a whole lot of name value and not much hype, but whatever. The 30-man Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which consists so far of Mark Henry, Kofi Kingston, Cody Rhodes, Sheamus, Christian, Fandango, Jinder Mahal, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Damian Sandow, Heath Slater, The Miz, Goldust, Big E, Big Show, Alberto Del Rio, Titus O'Neil, Brodus Clay, Darren Young, Justin Gabriel, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, The Great Khali, Santino Marella, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, and 4 other stars to be determined. Oh yes. Then, if that's not a big enough pile of people, we have the Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational, which is AJ versus Naomi versus Cameron versus Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella versus Natalya versus Eva Marie versus Emma versus Oksana versus Alicia Fox versus Summer Rae, Rosa Mendez, Layla, and Tamina Snuka. Now, all the other names are irrelevant, and it's going to be Tamina turning on AJ, and she's going to win the title probably, which is complete bullshit. But we get to see Summer Rae debut in the ring at WrestleMania. We get to see Emma debut in the ring at WrestleMania. We have Eva Marie, Oksana, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, the Bellas, and the Funkadactyls, who don't deserve to be in the ring whatsoever. But yeah, they took every single female they could that's going to be there that weekend, except for Paige and a return of Lita. So, you know, we could have had Lita, AJ, Paige, you know, past, present, future, passing the torch, slash holding the torch, slash reaching for the torch type of thing, but no, we didn't get that. That's really sad. We have a very, and I'm sorry if you haven't seen the SmackDown spoilers, yeah, fast forward a couple of days. We have a very depressing match for the Tag Team Championships, do we not? Rybaxel versus the Matadors versus the Real Americans versus the Usos. Now, guys, you know I pushed the Usos to be the champions forever. I am going to say, in this case, if the Real Americans, as hot as they are as a team right now, as far as being a team that's not the Wyatts and not the Shield, you can't go with anybody else other than the Real Americans. I love the Usos. I love what they do. Real Americans are walking out with the title. I mean, friggin' Swagger got treated like an afterthought last year, and Cesaro is a fucking beast. So, things that should happen. The second burial match of the night is Daniel Bryan, because we know that's who it's going to be, versus Batista versus Randy Orton. Any doubt that Daniel Bryan is going to hop in John Cena's steamroller and just take the whole damn thing? Yeah. But anyways, that's just what WrestleMania looks like right now. That's my thoughts on a few things. I think the pile of people women's match and then the pile of people battle royal being on the same card indicates that one of them is going to be on the pre-show. And honestly, now that they're hyping up the fact that this is the first time, and you know, I've had friends mention this before, the first time that the actual Divas Championship has been represented and defended at WrestleMania, that's a big deal. I may not like the Divas Championship, you know, the butterfly belt and all that bullshit, but still, it is the championship of that division. It should be fought at WrestleMania. It's bad enough that the Intercontinental Champion is stuck in a Battle Royal and the U.S. Champion is stuck in a 3-on-3 tag team match, and neither one of those titles are going to be defended. We need to have the women's title defended. We have the tag team titles defended, I guess. We have the main title defended. It's fine. But the 30-man Andre Battle Royal needs to be on the main show, does it not? It's probably going to open the show. And then the women's match should be on the show as far as I'm concerned. But my question now is, as I'm asking you guys for questions for my Q&A, I have one question for you. What match in this list is going to be on the pre-show, or are we going to get something else completely useless on the pre-show, like, I don't know, Sandow versus Ziggler for the 100th time, or something along those lines. But yeah, Q&A. Put your Q&A questions down at the bottom. They don't have to be about wrestling, and they don't have to specifically be about WrestleMania, but get with the times, get with the spirit of the season that we're in, and why is there all kinds of... There we go. Now we can see me a little bit better. Black screen doesn't do very much for me, or maybe it does. Maybe you guys don't want to see my pretty sexy face. But try to stick with the themes, try to stick with the season. If you want to have questions about post-WrestleMania, great. If you want to talk, like, what I thought of the build of WrestleMania, what anybody wants who's got the network especially, that's picked up on NXT, anything to do with the WWE. If you want to ask me about TNA, I'm not watching it as much as I used to. Jeff Hardy's doing the Willow thing, which is great. You always have the option of asking me something that's not wrestling related, but if it's not something that I think can be a beefy enough question to actually have an entertaining answer, it might not get answered. So there you go. You guys know I'm wishy-washy on these things. This is the WrestleMania Q&A, except it doesn't really have to be about WrestleMania. It doesn't even have to be about WWE. It doesn't even have to be about wrestling. But, you know, guys, at the end of the day, it's my video. It's my judgment at the end of the day as to what questions I'm going to answer. So, theoretically, Wrestling 101 or YWC 101 tells you that if you ask me questions about WrestleMania, you know it's going to be in the video. That's been it, really. Other than that, other than what I usually say to you guys, what do you think about WrestleMania? What do you think about the build? What do you think about where WWE is at the moment? I'm excited. The Hall of Fame is also an interesting thing. I said it in the Wrestling Realm on Facebook, which is, you know, climbing in members by the day, which is fantastic. I think it's funny that they're inducting Scott Hall as Razor Ramon when you can pretty much guarantee that Kevin Nash, when he is inducted into the Hall of Fame, is going to go in as Kevin Nash. It's mentioned in other videos. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good rub for DDP that two of his biggest success stories, Jake the Snake Roberts and Scott Hall, are going in at the same time. You know he's going to be involved in the induction of at least one of them. I would say he's going to induct Jake the Snake Roberts because you figure guys from the Clique are going to induct Scott Hall. It's either going to be Nash or Shawn Michaels or Triple H, or maybe Sean Waltman's going to come back for a night. China might show up. Maybe not. To all the people out there that are saying, oh, CM Punk left the company just in time to miss his ex going into the Hall of Fame, you're all a bunch of fucktards, and it's just not funny. You know, Carlos Colon, I don't really know much about. I won't pretend. Mr. T, same deal. As you know, as much as he's a part of the history of WrestleMania, other than that, I could really care less. Ultimate Warrior is going to be the headliner of this, which is fine. Lita's going in, and you guys know that does my fan heart good. Favorite diva of all time. The second half of the Rock Austin of women's wrestling, which is Lita versus Trish Stratus, is going into the Hall of Fame, and it couldn't be more deserved. And is it a surprise to anybody that Trish Stratus is doing the inducting on that one? Paul Bearer. The debate right now is whether Undertaker's actually going to break kayfabe. It's kind of a funny one, because on the one hand, you know Mark Calloway wants to induct Paul Bearer. On the other hand, you know that in his head somewhere, Paul Bearer may not have even wanted him to break kayfabe, because he spent so much time with that Undertaker character. It's ridiculous. There's rumors going around that the tandem of Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind are all going to induct Paul Bearer together. And I think if they do it that way, the same way that Chavo and Ray and Benoit got together, or sorry, Chavo and Ray and Benoit got together and inducted Eddie, didn't they? Didn't they? I think. So it wouldn't be unprecedented for Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind to induct Paul Bearer. I've heard rumors as well that Linda McMahon is the one inducting the Ultimate Warrior, which seems a bit off to me, but I don't really have anything against that. It's you know, it's Linda McMahon. She can do her thing if she wants to, and the other people, the only other person that was really even on the ballot for that job was Hulk Hogan, and he's already, you know, he's busy the next night. So Linda McMahon inducting the Ultimate Warrior, sure, why not? If it wasn't Trish Stratus inducting Lita, then honestly bring back the Hardy Boys for one night. Like, I know everybody's gonna piss and moan because Matt Hardy hasn't done anything recently and Jeff Hardy's over with the other guys, but, you know, get the fuck over it. They brought back Ric Flair for a second ring. They could do this if they wanted to. And that's it. Other than a couple of minor mid-card matches that I'm kind of on, nothing really has developed. I really hope they put more into the Brock Lesnar Undertaker story before WrestleMania, because it does sell on name value, but it's always nice to have a little bit more behind it. Daniel Bryan's still driving John Cena's steamroller, which is sad. WrestleMania as a whole, I'm ridiculously excited about. Still, the number one match I'm looking forward to on that card is Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Let me tell you one more time, Bray Wyatt has done a good enough job with this story that the match that I'm looking most forward to at WrestleMania has John Cena in it. That is a phenomenal feather in the cap for Mr. Bray Wyatt. I really hope at some point down the line, the Wyatts get a shot at the tag titles, but that's another story for another vid, and I've already waffled on for a lot longer than I meant to. Put your questions down in the box below for the Q&A. They will not be answered from Twitter. They will not be answered from Facebook. They will not be answered from email, carrier pigeon, or anything else. They will be answered in the comment section of this video alone. Bring it on, guys. Let's make it fun. It's coming out sometime next week. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all our conversations going. Give me questions for my Q&A. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.